Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing great tonight. This is Carrie and I'm with my sister Julie, and we are coming for you from A Natural Shift. This is our brand page, somewhere we love to come and share information about really this topic, how to make healthy living simple. And tonight we happen to be talking about essential oils, which is one of the absolute key tools in doing just that. So we're going to stay on here for just a quick minute or two to allow people to be able to see that we're live and hopefully tune in. So if you're watching the recording, you might want to just fast forward a tiny little bit. Should have got some background music going.
I know, right? Okay. I shared my personal page. So, and I like to have it pulled up on my phone too, because I can't see comments that come through when we're
you're right. You can't see them. I can. If you're tuning in, please say hello in the comments and let us know what you're up to. Let us know if this is something new for you or if you already use essential oils and love them. Just something about you, let us know that you're here.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Hope you guys are doing, let us know if this is something or share it into my personal page.
Okay, well, I think we'll go ahead and get started if that's good with you, Carrie.
Yeah.
As Carrie said, we're the founders of A Natural Shift, and our mission is really to make healthy living simple, because we know that it can be very complicated, and all of the information out there, some of it is contradicting, and there's just a lot to kind of weed through. So that's why we decided to bring a public class once a month about how to really make healthy living simple and incorporate some things like essential oils and supplements. So why are these things important? I want to tell you a little bit about why they're important to me, and then Carrie can certainly weigh in, from her perspective. But, we've kind of been on a healthy path probably for 10 to 15 years. We've been using essential oils for about 5 years. We both started using them right at the same time. And really before then, it was really about healthy diet and exercise, which we all know are both super important. But when you add tools like essential oils, it really takes your health to another level. And what it does is it empowers you to be able to take care of yourself, your family in a natural, non-harmful way, and just have some tools on hand that you can reach for when minor medical conditions come up, and also to support a good, healthy immune system so that you can fight off anything that comes up, such as the flu. Some of you may have seen I did a live on my personal page earlier today about the flu, and
it was so informative.
Oh, good.
It always keeps me. I'm just like, I'm not a big researcher, and so when I hear all it's just awesome. I love that. I love that about you. You provide great information all the time.
Well, thank you. I do like to look at some of the a little bit of research behind it. But I talked about in that video how we use essential oils to boost our immune system so that, hopefully we can fight off things like the flu. So I want to first start by what are essential oils? Now, many of you already use oils that follow us, but there are people that don't know a lot about essential oils. They're becoming much more common. They will be mainstream before long. That's the way that healthcare is moving. But essential oils are just extracts from plants. They're natural, they come from the plant, and they work with our bodies to help our bodies heal themselves, which is really what God intended for our bodies to do anyway. And that's what I love about them. They don't really put a Band-Aid on the problem like some of our pharmaceuticals. They work with our body. Now, Carrie's going to tell us a little bit about the brand that we have chosen to partner with called doTERRA, if you're not familiar with that, and how this is really different than what you see in stores everywhere over the counter, and why quality is really so important.
Yeah, sure. So before I jump into that, I just wanted to share a little bit about maybe what's going on in my life and about how thankful I am for essential oils even more than ever. So, if you follow me personally, you know that my kids have been sick over the last week, and we found out they had the flu yesterday. And, it's interesting how I feel like now, this day and time, everybody is just, they're kind of almost programmed to absolutely fear the flu just above anything else. And me and my husband were talking about it at dinner, and we just thought when we were younger and when you just didn't hear a lot about it. I mean, people got sick, yes, but you just didn't hear, get your flu shot, get your flu shot, get your flu shot. And honestly, that's a scare tactic. If you know how the healthcare system works, they work off making you fear the unknown, not necessarily the unknown. I mean, make you fear certain situations so that you will go get these things. And I don't really necessarily want to get into the vaccine, not vaccine situation at all. I totally respect anybody's opinion, but I just think that it's kind of gotten out of hand. And yes, has it been not a great week in my house? Yeah, I mean, there's been some hard times, but how thankful am I that I have the tools necessary to allow my body, if I were to get it, I've been taking care of them all week, or if I, obviously let their bodies do what it's supposed to do. I don't really think a lot of times we need to intervene in those situations. We just need to support our body in the right way. And I am just incredibly thankful that I know how to do that now. And I feel confident. A lot of times when we do things, like get the flu vaccine or perhaps take Tamiflu or something like that, is because we fear the unknown, or we don't trust. We don't trust that if we just give our body what it needs, that it will heal itself. I think a lot of times that comes maybe with experience, of course, and it also just comes with knowing that, and just seeing over and over again that essential oils work. Almost every single time I use one, I'm astounded that it actually works so well and so quickly. And I don't think really in our lifetime we'll ever know the full impact that essential oils can have, just because there's all new studies being done on them. They're so complex, and our bodies just respond to them in ways that it blows my mind. And I just love knowing more and more and more. And just obviously, I said actually that I wasn't a big researcher. I love experimenting, honestly, on myself. And every single time that I get these experiences, it just blows my mind all over again. Somebody actually just commented on my personal page tonight and said, I had a scratchy throat, I gargled with On Guard, and it went away almost immediately. And that just lights me up. I'll be really honest with you. I'm tired, and I really didn't want to get on here. I'll be really honest. But, I'm really passionate about telling people that these options are out there. I'm sorry, it's been a long week. But seriously, I'm very passionate about this, because if that was me and my kids, were sick and positive flu or whatever 5+ years ago, I probably would have done things differently, and I'm really thankful for what I have. And I'm never going to stop sharing that, even when I'm tired and even when I don't want to get on here. So just wanted to tell you that, because it was on my heart, because I know that so many people, their interest is piqued, but they don't know if they trust it yet. And all I have to say to you is just try it. All you have to do is try it. Try these things that we're telling you, and you will see that they make a huge difference. So,
Carrie, can I say something real quick? I think that I thought about this a lot today too. I think that a lot of people, there's a lot of skepticism around, like you said, do these, really work? Do these things work? And I can speak to the fact that when I started using them, both of us are in the medical field. We're kind of used to traditional medicine. And when I started using them, I was the same way. The first experience that I had, Carrie had shared an oil with me. I had some stomach discomfort, and she said she'd gotten her oils a week or two before that, and she had already experienced, the benefit to them. And she said, here, put this on your stomach. And I thought she was crazy. Obviously she's my sister and I totally trust her. So I was like, okay. So I did, and it worked. But my second thought after that was, maybe it was all in my head. Mm-hmm. I don't really know, maybe. But then I said to myself, these are 100% pure. There are no synthetics in them. I'm not harming my body. So why would I not try this? What do I really have to lose, by trying this? And I got a kit, I started, and the rest is history. But I'm like you as well, Carrie. I'm like constantly, every day amazed, and I don't know why, every day amazed at whether it's my personal experience or a testimony that I've seen from somebody else like you were sharing a minute ago. It's just amazing. And I don't know why we're so amazed, because, they're plant-based. God gave them to us to use to help heal our bodies. So anyway, not to delay further on that, but I did want to mention that it's okay to be skeptical. That's normal. Like, that's a normal first reaction. But I just feel, what do you have to lose?
Right. And I mean, it really does go back to having an open mind and looking at it as, this isn't going to, hurt. Why not try it? Right. Don't have that, that just closed mind going into it. And literally, I looked around, I guess it was maybe yesterday or probably every day this week, and there was oils everywhere all over my house, just like around the bedside table, in the kitchen. It was a mess. And I thought, what would I do if these weren't here? I mean, sometimes I just don't think about that because we've been doing it for so long. But, and that's when I thought how incredibly thankful I was. So anyway, I know somebody was on here tonight because they needed to hear that. So if you've been waiting, go ahead and jump in and try. Even if it's one oil, get it into your home and start to use it. Now, I did have a question. Somebody posted, tell me more about gargling with On Guard. So when you have, a sore throat or you're just not feeling well, especially sore throat though, because when you gargle with an oil, and how you would do that would be to take a shot of water, just a small amount of water, and then put one drop of something like On Guard in it, and just gargle like you would, if you were doing anything else, just kind of let it get back into your throat. And that helps it get directly on your throat, and it kind of coats it. And then also you would swallow that because you would want to get that inside your body so it can kind of help with whatever is causing the sore throat or whatnot. And my husband swears by this. I mean, he even said it tonight. He's like, On Guard will cook out and just knock out anything. And the clove in it really helps to deaden kind of your throat. It has a numbing effect. So it really helps with the sore throat feeling, but then it helps also your body recover. So it's really simple to do that. And I'm not going to tell you that it tastes great. It doesn't taste that bad to me because I'm used to it. But if you try it for the first time, you're like, believe me, it definitely works. So it's worth the kind of taste, I guess. So hopefully that helps anybody that's got a sore throat tonight. All right. So why choose doTERRA and not just go to Walmart right down the street and get essential oils? And this really comes up a lot more than it used to. Like when I first got started, I guess not that many people were using oils then, but now, like Julie said, it's really starting to become mainstream. So people maybe even tune into our classes or see this information online and they think, well, I'm skeptical, so I'm not ready to jump in. I'm just going to go get it from the store because they see it and they think, well, it's kind of the same thing. And we're here to tell you that that's just not the case. Yes, we're so glad that you're using essential oils for sure, but they are not all created equal. That's almost just like saying that, blueberry flavored cereal is the same as blueberries in the whole form. I mean, it's just, you can't really compare the two. And that's simply because when you think about an essential oil and it comes from a plant, what is the quality of that plant, first of all? And this is something that doTERRA takes extremely seriously because when essential oils are so concentrated, it really does make a huge difference what the quality of that plant is. So, growing lavender in your backyard is something that almost everybody can do, but where's the best, most, highest quality lavender going to be grown? And that's where it grows indigenously. It grows without any help, any fertilizer, very little assistance from anyone. That's going to create a much higher quality plant. And so that was really doTERRA's mission, and their vision is to go out and source any essential oil that they were to provide for purchase, in the places that they do grow indigenously, work with those farmers. And we'll talk a little bit about that, why that's really important in a minute. But, that you can't get over that. If another essential oil company does not do that, you're going to have a much weaker product that's not going to work as well in your body. When we think about using these for therapeutic value, it really does make a very big difference. Now, also doTERRA does a lot of testing because they want to make sure that if you buy a bottle of lavender this month, the next month, and the next month, it's going to be the same. It's very consistent. And so they do 7 different tests. A couple of these are by a third party, which is very important. They can't skew those results. So this is important when you think about, obviously, when we use these on ourselves and our kids, we know that the standards and the purity are there. But also when you think about all these studies that are being done by very prestigious universities, doctors are starting to use these. They won't use any other brand besides doTERRA because the quality is not there, and the standards as far as the consistency is not there either. So that's very important. And then the third way that doTERRA is different is that when they're going out and working with these farmers all across the world, I think it's, over 40 different countries, they are in very impoverished areas. So their mission is to work with the growers, provide them a fair wage, even above what they're used to, and also give them, running water in schools and create a community where they would have never had that before. So I love being a part of a company that really goes above and beyond. Did they have to do that? No. I mean, they could have went out and got the oil and left the conditions as is, but they choose to go the extra step. That's really what I think about when I think about why I choose doTERRA. Is you can rest assured that that's the best essential oil that you could ever use on yourself and your family. So I wanted to talk about after that, and please leave any comments or questions you have over there. And I think Julie's manning the queue as I'm talking, so we'll kind of take turns with that, but we definitely want to get your question answered. All right, so how do you use essential oils? I want to make this really easy for you, right? The name of this is How to Make Healthy Living Simple. So probably the easiest way by far to me is to use them aromatically. And I have a diffuser right behind me. I'll kind of take over here and show you. This is how you would use, predominantly how you would use essential oil aromatically. And it's very easy to use. You pop the top off here and you see the little red dot, and you would fill that up with water to the red dot, and then put probably 3 to 5 drops of essential oil. You really don't need much. If people have used another brand, they're probably used to using about 10 to 15 drops to really get any effect from it or smell. I guess that's kind of how they're gauging the effectiveness of it by that point. So you would need a significant amount less. So you might think these bottles are small. This is one of these smaller bottles, but if you only need 3 to 5 drops at one time, they really last a long time. So reasons why you would want to use them aromatically would be to open up your airways. That's a great reason to use them, aromatically, especially if you have a cough or congestion at night, especially, it seems that kind of builds up and maybe keeps you from sleeping. That's a great reason to use them aromatically. Maybe you're just feeling like you need a little boost. You need a mood change. You need a mood shift, or your kids do. It's a great way to get essential oils in, on, and around your kids. So it really is a great thing to do to just boost everybody's mood. So you could put something like a citrus oil in there in the afternoon or in the morning, and it really does shift the mood. Now, when you breathe in a pure plant oil, it's much more than a scent and a smell. A lot of times people really think that I just want to get essential oils because they smell good. And they do. That's totally a great reason to get essential oils. Maybe you want to replace candles or something like that. That's a great reason, and you definitely should do that. But you just don't realize all these other benefits that you're getting. When you breathe in that, it goes straight to your limbic system. And so this is what can control your mood and your emotions, even your heart rate and your blood pressure and your hormones even. It's amazing what that can do simply by putting some drops of oil in water and turning it on. It's super, super easy to diffuse oils. Now, say you've got 2 kids that are sick. I've been diffusing On Guard, that we'll talk about a little bit later, non-stop, because that helps kill germs in the air. I'm trying everything I can not to get sick. But it's just really important because it's so valuable in helping eliminate the spread of germs. And if it lands on a surface, it can help with that. They are suspended in the air, so they help kill the germs and bacteria that may be floating around in the air. So super effective for that. If you did not have a diffuser and you wanted to use them aromatically, or you just want around a diffuser, you can simply put 1 drop of oil in your palm, and you can rub your hands together and cup over your nose and mouth and breathe in really deeply. And that is a great way to use them aromatically as well. It only lasts, a couple of minutes or whatnot, but that's the great thing about using a diffuser is that it lasts, 2, 4, 6, 8 hours, however long yours runs, and you get the benefits for that long. So that is aromatic ways to use oils aromatically in just a tiny little snippet. So next is topically. And this is the way that I would say probably most people use essential oils other than aromatically. And, I used to think I'm going to rub these on myself and then I'm going to see some benefit. I just don't get it. That was just kind of something that it was new. It was different. But I gave it a try, right? I was open-minded. And I realized that, wow, these are very, very effective. You think more is better and I need to take everything internally or just use so much of the oil. It's just simply not the case. These are very, very potent. So using topically is a very effective way. And especially with kids, they can't take oils internally yet until they're, probably 6 or 8 years old. And so topically or aromatic are probably going to be your two primary ways. So where would you use essential oils topically? Putting them on the bottom of your feet is a great, just all around place to put them, especially if you're new and don't really know where or how. Just get started by putting them on the bottom of your feet. You have very large pores on there, and then there are a lot of the pores. So the oil gets absorbed very easily. And really, when you put anything on your skin, it gets absorbed. So that's why we talk a lot about self-care and what are you putting on your skin. And, if you're thinking about you want to decrease your toxic load, but yet you don't realize everything you put on your skin really does affect you and get absorbed, that's when you kind of start thinking, okay, well, maybe I do need to look at these other areas. So that's how essential oils work topically. They, once you put them on, they travel down the layers of skin and they get into your bloodstream. And that's how they can really affect your entire body very quickly, probably within, I would say, a minute or two. If you put them on topically, especially on the bottom of your feet, you're going to get the benefits of that oil. Now, you might not necessarily feel the benefits, especially if you're just putting something on for like an immune boost, like On Guard. But if you were to put them on for sleep, that's one of the first ways that I realized, wow, this is very effective. I put vetiver on the bottom of my feet and I felt my entire body relaxing in like a couple minutes. It's the best feeling ever. I still feel it to this day. And it's just amazing how these work and how fast they work. So if you did not put them on the bottom of your feet, you could always just put them wherever it hurts also. So if your stomach wasn't feeling well or your head or your neck, you could just simply put them where it hurts. Now, when we're talking about using essential oils topically, I definitely want to mention how to use these safely, because that's another thing. A lot of people want to start using essential oils and they maybe go get something off the shelf, but they don't necessarily know how to use it. They may have, some kind of side effect and then they're just completely turned off. So safety is very key, and that's why we love to educate and just tell people how to use their oil safely. So when you're just getting started or on young kids, you always want to make sure you dilute. And really what it means to dilute is just put them in what's called a carrier oil. That would be like coconut oil is probably the one that's most used, almond oil, jojoba oil, something like that has larger fat molecules. And so when you put the essential oil in it, it weighs it down. And you can get it on a larger surface area of your skin. And that's just going to help disperse the oil so that you don't have maybe some redness or burning if you were to drop one drop of essential oil in your skin. It's just too much in one area. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are allergic to the oil or anything like that. It just means that it's maybe just too strong in that one area. So putting some coconut oil on, if you were to do that on top of that, will disperse it really, really quickly and it'll take the burn away. So make sure you do that, like I said, with young kids, anybody with sensitive skin. And really, if you're just starting, I always recommend to start out diluting and, with one drop. Just start out small and you can always kind of increase. So that's topical in a nutshell. And then lastly, we want to talk about internal use. And this is something that I would never recommend using any other brand internally other than doTERRA because of the purity standards. So ways that I like to use oils internally, for sure, putting a citrus oil in my water every day. If you've ever seen me in person or on a call, I always have a bottle. I talked about that on my personal page. What's one of the easiest things we can do to increase our health is drink more water. And putting essential oils in that water makes it taste better. You get internal cleansing. So I love to do that every single day. I usually put 1 to 2 drops in my water bottle, but make sure you use glass or stainless steel. Very important because the essential oils can pull out and leach out toxins and chemicals in your water, and you don't want to drink that. So that's one of the ways that I use them internally every day. Now, a lot of times, like if I have an overall body, something going on, or if I don't feel well, I'm definitely going to turn to internal use because it really just takes it up a notch. Just say you've been using them topically and aromatically, and you just feel like you're getting run down and you need some extra support. Always turn to internal use because that is going to just give you that little extra support that your body needs. And other ways to use them, like if you did want to take them internally for like right now, I just took some in a veggie capsule because I wanted to kind of give my body that increased support. So a veggie capsule is just an empty gel capsule that you can open up and put the essential oils in and then pop the cap back on and take it just like you would a regular pill. And so that's a really easy, convenient, you don't have to taste the oils, and you can get the benefits of internal use. But like we said with On Guard, you can totally put any oil into that's recommended for internal use in a small shot of water and just take it. But a lot of them don't taste good, so I wouldn't recommend doing that with some of them. And before I forget, anytime you have a doTERRA bottle, I can't speak for any other, but and you want to know if you can use it internally, if you look on the side of the bottle and you see a supplement facts box, that means that you can take it internally, that it's a recommended or, it's been studied to show it's fine to take for internal use. So that's how you would know if the bottle does not have that, then it's not recommended for internal use. So that's 3 ways to use essential oils in a nutshell. And now Julie is going to kind of tell us how we can use different oils to impact different areas of our life.
Great information. I think, that's kind of like lays the foundation of where the oils come from, why we choose this company, why quality is important, and how you would use them. So now I want to talk about, sometimes this can be overwhelming to think, well, if I get these oils, what am I actually going to use them for? Maybe you think, I don't really have a lot of medical issues or conditions, which is great. You may want to start by using them to boost your immune system so that you stay healthy and well. You may want to start by greening up your home and getting rid of candles and Glade plug-ins and things that are toxic in your home by just replacing them with greener ingredients to clean with. So those are just an example of 2 areas. What we want to encourage you to do is, so that it seems less overwhelming, pick one thing. Just choose one area or one thing that you want to start with. And honestly, what happens is you affect that area positively, and then it's just a ripple effect into these other areas of your life. You begin to see, oh, well, I could use my lavender that I got for stress for this burn that I got on my hand. And you just learn as you go. And we'll talk a little bit at the end about our educational and resource group, which is a great benefit to joining our wellness team. And we'll talk about that because we provide continuous education. So let's talk about just a few areas that you could think about incorporating essential oils and some natural products into. First one that I hear a lot from people is stress. What can I use for stress? I have stress, anxiety, whether it's stress due to a job or, kids, home life, that kind of thing. We all have some type of stress in our life. I want to mention a couple of oils as we go through these categories. There are tons of different essential oils that can be used for one condition. But again, we want to make this simple. So I'm going to give you probably the most common ones that we use and that work really well. So for stress or anxiety, there's a blend of oils called Serenity. It is the restful blend, and it smells amazing. It has lavender and vanilla. It has the vetiver that Carrie mentioned that is super relaxing. That one I love to diffuse at night. It's actually what I use to help me sleep. So I diffuse that at night, and then also you can apply it during the day just if you feel, stress or anxiety, and it really just helps to calm you down. doTERRA also makes a Serenity soft gel that you could take internally if that was your preference. It's really better to, if you're going to take it internally, to also diffuse or use it topically. The next one for stress that I love and often use with Serenity is called Balance. It's the grounding blend, and it is a little bit sweet but woodsy at the same time, and they smell really good together. I like the smell of those together. So I will keep them in a roller bottle, and I don't think that we mentioned that, but this is what a roller bottle.
Just skipped over that.
Okay.
Sorry.
I didn't think we covered it, but I couldn't remember. This is a roller bottle, and basically you can make your own. doTERRA makes several of these that are pre-diluted to make it really convenient and easy, but you can make your own blends. You just place, essential oils you put the essential oils in first based on what you're making. So if I were creating a roller with Serenity and Balance, then I would put probably 10 drops of each in the roller and then top the rest of it with fractionated coconut oil. And there you have it. I just keep this with me in my purse. A lot of times I like to just roll it like on my neck, especially if it is an oil that I love the smell of. And I'll just roll it right there on my neck. Or the other thing that I like to do is roll it on my wrist. Your skin's pretty thin. You have a lot of blood vessels. You get really good absorption. And I find myself often during the day walking around and just smelling whatever oils I put on my wrist because they just smell so good. The third oil that is great also to add to Balance is wild orange. And wild orange smells really nice. It smells really fresh, but it works very well with Balance to help, again, calm you down and decrease some stress. The next area that I hear a lot of people want to incorporate essential oils for is sleep. And I just mentioned Serenity, the restful blend. That's probably my absolute favorite for sleep. You could use something as simple as lavender. Serenity has lavender in it, but maybe you want to start with just some basics. Lavender would be a great choice. You could diffuse a couple of drops of lavender on your bedside table at night. Something that my kids like for me to do is to what I'll do is I'll take my hand and I'll put a little bit of doTERRA's unscented lotion, like maybe a teaspoon, in my hand, and then 1 or 2 drops of lavender, rub that together, and then rub it on their feet at night before they go to bed. I mean, who doesn't like to get their feet rubbed, right?
Oh my God. Can you come to my house?
I'm like, can you return the favor here? But
yes.
No, but I mean, it's a great way. I mean, not only really to connect with them, to relax them, and then just to help promote a healthy, restful night's sleep for them and you as well, if they get a good night's sleep, right? There are several other sleep oils, but I would say those would be your starting point. Vetiver is another great one that Carrie mentioned. It's a little bit stronger, I would say. So I typically tell people start with lavender or Serenity. You cannot go wrong there. The next area is energy. I mean, how many of us wouldn't like to have more energy? doTERRA has several things, not just oils, but supplements also that are really great for energy. First, just starting with oils, peppermint is a great one. Peppermint is very invigorating. It really helps to wake you up and just kind of, again, give you a little boost of energy. Peppermint pairs very well with wild orange. So what I like to do is in the mornings when we're kind of getting woken up for school and getting our day going on our kitchen or in our kitchen area, I'll diffuse wild orange and peppermint. And those are just, again, they smell wonderful. They're super invigorating and energizing. You can also just put a drop of each in your palm. Rub your hands together and you can rub it on your neck. Sometimes I'll do this before I exercise. Again, it just gives you a boost of energy and kind of wakes you up. As far as supplements go for energy, the Lifelong Vitality Pack, which is called the LLV. That's doTERRA's supplements, vitamin supplements. It comes in a 3-pack. It has 3 different soft gels in it. The first one is a multivitamin and mineral complex, just like you would think of if you went and got a multivitamin at the store. But these are extremely different than what you can buy over the counter. Most of the vitamins that you get over the counter are full of synthetics, and they're not bioavailable, which means that your body doesn't really recognize what's in them. So therefore, you don't absorb any of the nutrients, and it's just lost in your urine. So really you're kind of wasting your money. And most people that take vitamins or that take vitamins such as that, they take them because someone has told them to, probably a physician, or maybe it was a parent that said, hey, you should take a vitamin every day. But they don't feel any different. They, don't notice any difference when they take it or whether or not they don't. One thing that you will notice about doTERRA's vitamins is you will notice a difference, because first of all, they're bioavailable. As I mentioned, that means that your body recognizes what's in them, knows how to use what's in them, and processes it. So that helps to give you energy because they're bioavailable. But this product also has 2 other pills in it that really help to give us some energy. One is the omega fatty acids, so like omega-3s and 6s. Those are extremely important for things like gut health, immunity, joint health, heart health. Just really important to have those good, healthy fats in your diet. And then to me, what really sets apart this vitamin pack from any others is a pill called Alpha CRS, and that comes again in the 3-pack. And this is the cellular complex. And what it does is it helps to really keep your cells healthy and clean, and it really gives you a lot of energy. It decreases inflammation in your body as well. So again, my point here is you will notice a difference if you take these. I think, I have heard just countless testimonies. I'm sure some people who are watching now that take these could, post in the comments that they have seen increased energy with taking the supplements. So I would definitely, if you're someone who struggles with that, encourage you to start with the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Now, one other thing I want to mention in the kind of energy category is doTERRA also makes a supplement called Mito2 Max. And this is actually a supplement that helps to increase the availability of your mitochondria. And your mitochondria is the powerhouse of your cell. It's what gives you energy. So, who doesn't want that, more energy? I take one of these a day, especially when you're sick, right?
Yes.
I take one of these a day. You can take 2 a day. I find that people who are trying to get off of things like energy drinks and too much caffeine really find that these are a great substitute for that. The next area that I think that probably everybody suffers with at some point is digestion. Whether it's a chronic digestive issue or it's just, a stomach bug or an upset stomach or whatnot. DigestZen is a blend of oils that doTERRA makes. It's called the Digestive Blend. I was going to show it to you, but I don't think I have it right here. I love to keep it. This is not DigestZen, but I love to keep it. It comes in a pre-diluted roller. And I love to keep it that way, or you could make your own. In my purse, we have it in multiple areas of the house because it's super easy and convenient just to roll right on your stomach. It gets absorbed. You're kind of applying it directly to the area that's bothersome. It gets absorbed through the skin, and it just works really well. You can also take this one internally. Again, if you kind of needed you really didn't feel good and you kind of just wanted that extra support, you could take it internally. Just simple peppermint is good for digestive issues as well. And we're talking about things, anything from constipation, diarrhea, heartburn, anything like that. That's what I love about these oils. DigestZen can be used for all of those things because what they do is they get into the body and restore balance, which helps the body heal itself. So that's how one oil can be used for so many different things. Next up, immunity. So building that healthy, strong immune system is super important, especially this time of year when all of these germs are floating around everywhere. So Carrie talked a little bit earlier about On Guard, and On Guard is doTERRA's protective blend. It's a blend of oils. It has things like cinnamon and clove and wild orange and rosemary, and it it really smells like cinnamon and tastes spicy like cinnamon to me. It's not a bad taste at all. But what I like to do with On Guard is diffuse it in kind of the main living areas of our home to get that immune boosting benefit, but also it kills germs in the air. So it rids the air of things that might be floating around, that you might come in contact with. Now, to boost the immune system, the other thing that On Guard is great to do with On Guard is to put on the bottom of your feet. So you can put On Guard on the bottom of your feet daily for an immune boost. And then the other oil that's great for immunity is frankincense. Frankincense is the king of oils. The saying kind of goes, if you don't know what to use frankincense, because it's so good for so many things. But it's great for immunity, boosting that immune system. I use frankincense internally every day for immune support, and it also decreases inflammation in the body. So the way that I do that is I put 2 drops of frankincense under my tongue. Now, as Carrie said, at first, I don't recommend people starting out with that because it's a very strong taste and you just have to get used to it. But it's just like anything. I mean, I'm used to it now. It's not a big deal. Or you could just start with 1 drop at first. But those are 2 of the best oils for immune boosting. Now, what if you do get sick? I want to mention to you the blend that is just so powerful and works so well. And if you're in our essential oil community, chances are, I know you've heard about this, but chances are you've used it too. And you could probably testify to the fact that it works. It's called the Floom, and that's just an acronym. It's FLOOM. That's an acronym for frankincense, lemon, On Guard, oregano, and melaleuca. So it's 5 different oils. And again, what I like to do is just keep that in one of those convenient roller bottles, diluted. And if we feel like we're getting sick, coming down with something, go ahead and start putting that on the bottom of the feet. You can even roll it along the spine. If you are sick, I like to do that every 2 to 3 hours. To really, get rid of whatever it is you've come in contact with. Now, if for adults, what I like to do for adults, I really want kind of that added support. And, as parents, like Carrie said, nobody has time to be sick. So like she was mentioning that she took some oils in a veggie capsule. I'm sure she's been taking the Floom in a veggie capsule. But you just, again, take your veggie capsule. I like to do 3 drops of each of those 5 oils. And I'll do that about every 3 or so hours, during the day when I'm sick. And it really helps to shorten the course of any illness. Sometimes when you get sick, like the flu, it can last, 7 to 10 days. I really find that this helps.
That's what I didn't mention. I mean, my kids were already feeling better today. And my daughter was pretty sick for 1 day. And that could have been easily 3 or 4 days. So another reason to be thankful.
Yeah, most definitely. So that's what we like to use, when we do get sick. Now, if you were looking for an area like to green up your home and to really get rid of some of the chemicals and toxins, I want to mention a couple of oils that are really great for cleaning, if that was your area of interest. Lemon is excellent. Most people know that things like using water, vinegar, and lemon work well to clean countertops, glass. We, instead of a regular lemon, we use lemon essential oil, and put it in a spray bottle, half vinegar, half water, 10 drops of lemon essential oil, and that it will clean countertops. It will clean glass and windows streak free. Another option would be wild orange. That's another one that I love to use in that combination. Melaleuca. I didn't mention melaleuca. Melaleuca is really great. Not only is it antiviral and antibacterial, so killing germs, but it also is antifungal. So things that if you have mold growing in certain areas, like maybe in the shower and like your grout or something in your shower, melaleuca is one that's really great to use. I like to use a little bit of baking soda, vinegar, and melaleuca to scrub, and that works well. And then the last one that we clean with a lot In fact, it works so well. doTERRA has a whole line of products based off of the On Guard Protective Blend. So that's another one that's just, I use as an all-purpose cleaner. I clean my kitchen, my bathrooms with it. It comes in a concentrate that makes it super simple and easy just to make a quick spray bottle of it just by adding water. So I love to use that. And I will mention one other thing about On Guard, that since I have this here, On Guard comes in a hand sanitizer.
A little bit higher. I don't think they can see it all the way. There you go.
Thank you. On Guard comes in a hand sanitizer. This is so convenient and easy just to keep, in your purse. We have one: purse, car, book bags, lunch boxes. I mean, pretty much everywhere. And the thing is, when you use all of these hand sanitizers that are alcohol based, most of them have a chemical in them called triclosan, because that chemical kills bacteria, but it also kills good bacteria and has been shown to have carcinogenic properties. So that means cancer-causing properties. So that's super important to me, that I'm not, because I am kind of a germaphobe. So I do tend to wash my hands a lot. I tend to use hand sanitizer, and I don't want to be putting things on my body or in my body, or certainly in my children or families, that is harmful to them just because I'm trying to get rid of some bacteria.
And On Guard has been studied to kill bacteria. I mean, it is definitely something that's been validated. We're not just telling you that, we heard it kill. It definitely has been very effective and proven effective against, and too, like when you spray it on a surface, it stays on there. And so it can kill germs, and it kind of continues to work for you. So it's just brilliant to use in hand soap and hand sanitizer and cleaning. That's why they made the whole line, which is, I'm just so thankful that we have all these products to use.
Yes, absolutely. So now I want to mention, before we wrap up, if you are new and all of this, sounds interesting, and you think, well, maybe I'll try some of this, I want to tell you the best way to get started. So doTERRA makes several enrollment kits, and we'll post some of those, once we hop off. There are several options, but most of the starter kits have some of your basic oils, the things that we mentioned tonight that will, help to impact and support these common conditions that we talked about. When you get started with a kit, you get 25% off of all of the products, and your membership is included in the kit. So you really don't pay the membership. If you wanted to just get a membership and kind of create your own kit, the membership's $35 for the year. And what that gets you is 25% off of all of the products. And I'm going to let Carrie, I think she's going to kind of finish telling us what the other benefits to the membership are. And there's a special promotion this month that can really help you get started at a lower cost. So I'll let you go ahead.
So as far as the kits, just wanted to touch on maybe a favorite one that would include a lot of the ones that we talked about. Probably the most popular kit is called the Home Essentials Kit, because it comes with the top 10 oils and the diffuser that I showed you that's sitting behind me. So it's like a perfect starter package, because you kind of get things that cover a lot of different areas, and you get a diffuser. So definitely, highly encourage you to get a diffuser if you're getting started, because it's just so easy to use and just to start to get the benefits of essential oil. So, there's some kits that are higher than that. There's some kits that are lower than that. So just, reach out to whoever invited you to view this. If that was one of us, we'd be happy to help you. But even if you don't think, oh, well, I don't know if I want to spend that much money. And I understand that it's an investment in your health, which is one of the best investments that you can make, in my opinion. But maybe you just want to start with a $35 and a couple of oils. That we want you to get started no matter what, because we know how powerful these are. And don't let that hold you back from getting started, because you see that and you're like, wow, I can't afford that right now. That's totally fine. You start where you can and then add on to your collection. So what is a membership? Does it just get you the discount off? Absolutely not. There's so many other benefits to getting a membership. Yes, you're going to get the 25% off, but you're also going to get some things that really you can't put a value on, in my opinion. You're going to get access to our wellness community, which is a group of women that mostly women, of course there are some men are welcome, that really, we're like-minded. We have the same interests. We're always sharing different things that work for us. I mean, I learn something new every time I hop in that group and just scroll down. I'm just amazed. I'm like, how did I not know this, right? There's just so many ways to use them. So that is invaluable to me. I mean, I've learned a lot about how I could help support my kids this week throughout all of these things just by, asking in the user group and in our, community group. So that is something that is only for members. So that's definitely a benefit of a membership. Now, you also get a wellness kind of plan built out for you, because we know that when you get this is going to be maybe overwhelming. You don't know how to use these. We're going to walk you step by step through creating a daily plan and a however far you want to go out. If you have goals, we'll help you work on that. So we're here for you. And that is exactly what you get in a membership that you do not get if you buy these off the store shelf. Now, not only do you not get the best oils and the most effective oils, you're not going to get somebody to help you, which is very key. I have a ton of people ask me questions all the time. And obviously they know that I'm on here educating, but that's a big benefit of a membership. We have a ton of different resources that are for only our community. Now, really quickly, I wanted to tell you what a membership is not. You do not have to get on here and teach classes. That's not what a membership is. It's simply a wholesale customer membership. So that just means that you can purchase them at a discounted cost. Now, I'll tell you, that's what I signed up with, and people wanted to know. So lots of people end up wanting to share, and that's just something that you can do if you so choose. A membership is not something that you have to purchase monthly to keep. So if you're used to that in another, company or whatever that you've been with, doTERRA doesn't do that. They stand behind their products, and they know that once you start to incorporate these, you're going to be like, give me more all the time, right? So that's not a problem that they have. They have a very high retention rate without having to make you purchase something monthly. There's a great program that you can purchase monthly through that gives you lots of free things, but that is optional. So I just wanted to mention those two things because that's very common misconception. So if that's what's been holding you back, manage your time. You're like, man, if I'd have known that, I would have already been gotten started, right? So let me tell you why it is a great time to get a membership. So doTERRA, usually every January, probably for the past 2 or 3 years, they've done this campaign called New Year, New You. So this is a way that you can get started this month by purchasing 100 PV, which is basically $100 to get started, which will give you a nice collection to start with. Then you purchase $100 next month, and you get $100 for free. So buy two, get one free, which is a great deal. You can get a lot of great things to get started in this new lifestyle that you're looking to kind of jump into and decrease your toxic load. It's a great time to do that because that's, and some people, they see the higher kits and they want to start with a lower one. This is a great time to do that too, right? You start with, the $100 either in product or a kit that's of that amount, and then you do $100 next month and you get $100 for free. So one of the best times to get started, and we just really hope that this information has impacted you because, like I said, we're passionate about this. We don't get on here for nothing, right? We want to share. We want everybody to know this. So if you know anybody that would love this information, ask them to like our page. They can be updated on when we're on here sharing information. They can get a lot of great content, or you can tag them in this video and they can watch it. But we're always here. Education is our thing. We love to make sure that people know how to use what they have. And that's why, I just have a lot of people also that have oils and don't know how to use them. And we don't like that. I hate to hear that because I'm like, no, you need to be using these. So that's one of the reasons why, we take that so seriously because we don't want you to waste your money. We want you to use these bottles and not let them collect dust on your shelf. So just glad to be with you tonight. Like I said, please share this if you feel like somebody could be impacted by it, or if you feel impacted by it, please share it because I promise there's somebody out there that is probably looking for this information and just doesn't know where to find it. So, Julie, any closing thoughts from you?
No, I think you really covered all of the misconceptions, and that was one of the things that I'm glad that you mentioned that because I hear so many times people, however, they have this misconception in their mind that they have to purchase monthly or they have to sell oils. I mean, just lots of things people say to me and they're like, oh, I didn't know that. No, there's no obligation, guys. This is about you being healthy and taking your health to that next level, really.
And being empowered.
Yes, empowering yourself. And really, you've already started. If you're watching this, you're educating yourself, and that's where it all starts. You're becoming educated, and you're taking your health and your health care into your own hands. And having these tools on hand are just going to level up your health. So we would love to have you join our wellness team. I think you would find great value in it. So let us know. Reach out to us. We'll be happy to help. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Bye.